So if you thought last month's video about naming that plant was exciting, well, I mean, this month we've got t-shirts with my brand logo on it, and so no wonder I'm nearly at 100,000 subscribers with this level of exciting content. Speaking of the plant, good news, we have a name. The most popular comment voted by you guys, and I say voted by like you clicked like on a particular name the most. Say hello to Linus. Linus the plant. So he lives there, but anyway, let's get back to some of your comments. Let's see what you guys have been saying over the past few weeks. So let's kick off with Saitama, who says, what in the f*** is that design? Referring to my recent ViewSonic monitor review. Yeah, it's a bit of an ugly monitor, I must say. A lot of the time, you get these gamery looking, like fighter jet style laptops and monitors, and it just looks a little bit childish, and like cheap plastics and LEDs and RGB lighting's all a bit, well, kind of you love it or you hate it. I have like a billion RGB things here anyway, from my computer to the back of my desk to the light over there, so I'm not one to speak, but yeah, I get your point, Saitama, that the ViewSonic monitor is, although I perhaps wouldn't use your wording, not the best looking. PC Centric says, where are you going to hang that silver play button? Well, really, this is the big question. I'm nearly at 100,000 subscribers, and when you hit that, YouTube sends you this little silver play button plaque thing, which is kind of cool, actually. I'm quite excited for it, although I think it takes a month or so to come after you reach 100K, but maybe it can sit alongside Linus. That's a good place for it. Rage91 says, I hope they make these straight too, because I don't like curved TVs, and that's talking about the new QLED TV range from Samsung. I agree, I don't like curved TVs. You get weird reflections, I think the panel uniformity or the colors just sort of isn't quite as good at the corners and the far edges, and unlike curved monitors, which I actually do quite like, because you're sitting basically straight dead center with it, so you have this sort of nice immersive effect. If you're not sitting in that sweet spot watching a curved TV, you're going to get reflections, you're not going to have that ideal viewing experience. Actually, there will be flat versions of Samsung's TVs, but they are still pushing curved. Sereth Mohan? Sereth? Hey man, if you could pick just one of these for yourself, which one would it be? And that's about my top 8 best laptop video. Well, honestly, the XPS 15, because I bought it and I use it. I was really tempted to buy the new MacBook Pros. I think they look amazing. I use them at work sometimes. But honestly, like for a similar spec with the graphics card for the 15-inch version, it's like $1,000 more than the XPS 15, which actually has a more powerful graphics card. I really like the Infinity Edge bezel because it's a lot more compact. So yeah, out of my top 8, I would actually pick the Dell XPS 15. Jay Canterbury asking about the Samsung Quantum Dot monitor I reviewed recently. He says, I thought the whole point of Quantum Dot was HDR. Why did Samsung even bother to release an 8-bit Quantum Dot panel? That's kind of an interesting question, because in my recent review of the ultra-wide Quantum Dot Samsung monitor, it obviously has this Quantum Dot display technology, which Samsung also uses on their TVs. That's why people are kind of excited, because we're getting this great TV technology in monitors, but it doesn't have the same brightness, it doesn't support HDR, and it kind of defeats all the big selling points of, say, a QLED or Quantum Dot Samsung TV. So maybe technically behind the scenes it is a big step up, or it is significantly different. In reality, a Quantum Dot monitor, at least in the one I saw, didn't really stand out particularly. Dajik Cross says, where do you live in the UK? Let me treat you to some food. Well, that's very kind of you, Dajik. But I might pass just now if that's cool. Sorry, but thanks. Nick Hunter says, whenever I see an upload on this channel, I go straight to it. Thank you very much, Nick. Part of the notification squad there, I do appreciate that. Blue Moon says, this channel is becoming one of my favorite tech-oriented channels. Keep up the great work, chap. One of your favorites, I don't want you watching any other tech YouTubers, all right, Blue Moon? This is not that kind of relationship. Karen Bansali says, this dude is Sheldon's twin. Thanks, I'm not sure that's really a compliment. Reborn Chico Gaming says, still worth buying. Are you f***ing mentally retarded? It's a bit much. Okay, so pretty much every day I get a comment from someone saying martyr, or like monitor. Martyr? I clearly can't say monitor very well. Even though I do monitor reviews, it's really annoying. People like phonetically write out martyr, like martyr, like you're saying martyr. The 27-inch martyr. Monitor. Now it sounds weird, I've said it too many times. And also, HDMI. For some reason I say HDMI. And weirdly, you guys pick up on that. Like, I didn't think that you could really hear the difference between H and HDMI. I guess you can, because I get like a comment every day saying, no, it's HDMI. Well, maybe, I don't know. I say HDMI, although I am trying to to change H to admire, because I think technically you're not supposed to say the H bit. Who comments on that? Like, why is that a big deal? But I think it's funny. It always makes me smile. Creed says, I love the influx of videos recently. Thanks, Creed. I do like making more videos. I kind of only get a chance to do maybe 2 a week because I have a full-time job at Trusted Reviews. I kind of have to do these in the evening or weekends.
You just shot the sun. So that was a great example.
I'm never going to really rush stuff. I think it's important, especially when some of you guys sort of take my advice for whatever reason and actually make big purchases based on that. So I don't want to rush decisions or make mistakes. Well, make them as little as possible. And finally, Lars Willems says, hey Tom, what do you think looks best, OLED TV or QLED TV? This is a really tricky question. And I've been doing quite a lot of work with Samsung recently on their QLED TVs, and I think they look fantastic. And I also think OLEDs look fantastic. It's really annoying. And I think it kind of comes down to light versus dark. The QLEDs can get a lot brighter than OLEDs, which means, well, what Samsung are calling, you can get better color volume, basically more vibrant, richer, and also like kind of more accurate colors as well. And the brightness really emphasizes HDR content as well. But on the other hand, you get infinite contrast with OLEDs. You get absolute deep, inky blacks. You just can't get that same level of deep blacks on a QLED. So like they both have pros and cons. Like the OLEDs just can't get as bright. And also I think the response time is a little bit higher, so it may not be quite as good for gaming. But really the technology is changing so fast in every year that I don't think one is clearly better than the other. So I hope you found that helpful. I really do enjoy reading and answering your comments. It really does make YouTube so much more fun when you guys are engaged and you ask questions and you actually answer each other's questions sometimes, which is really great to see. So do keep asking them, do keep leaving questions and comments and getting involved. And I'll be doing another one of these next month. And I still have loads of plans about like studio tours, what my desk is, what everything is. That's all in the works. I have a big Google Doc with like a dozen video ideas that I'm going to be doing at some point. So do stay tuned. And I'm nearly at 100,000 subscribers, so I hope to do something a little bit special. I have no idea what, but just something a little bit special for that in a few weeks. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.